Alrighty, hello every folks, and good morning! I have fantastic news today. We have got ourselves a 1.051 vision. Massive patch ended up just dropping here. Here, let's go ahead and move this thing out of the way. Massive patch ended up just coming out, changed a whole bunch of things about the game, and additionally, I want to share a few things, just kind of general good news as far as the One Vision mod and stuff like that. So for one thing, this is something, admittedly, I've just been completely sleeping on for quite a while, but this section right over here of the installation section, as far as updating the mod for phones, Steam Deck, or any other emulation device, basically anything other than PSP or Vita, like just original hardware and all that, this is so much easier for actually getting the mod running. Literally, all you have to do, let's go over to Steam, in the case of the Steam Deck, we're going to go on Steam. If you're on a PC, just go to PC. But you click on, you go get your UMD Gen, and if you're on PC, just so you know, if you're on Steam Deck, oh dear lord, forgive the noise, it's not meant to run on this. So if you're on Steam Deck, you can just run it through Proton. All you got to do is drag and drop your whatever ROM you're using into this window. Click Extract Image, and that's all you got to do to basically have it set up on your computer. And then every time that the mod updates, all you do is go over to it, take your PSP game folder, drop that sucker in there, and you're done. Like that. That's it. That's all you got to do. You just drag and drop that thing right there, and you're done. I wish I knew about this earlier. Sorry for missing it for however long this method has been around. But yeah, apparently it originally came about as an alternative for a phone, for people that wanted to run stuff on the phone. This basically just means if you're on phone, if you're on Steam Deck, you can just update the mod directly from your device, which is freaking magical. Anyway. So, let's go ahead and continue on. Another little minor thing to cover before I forget. The HD texture pack from One Vision is actually... So, there's a little bit of an asterisk on this, but when I asked the folks over at PPSSPP, supposedly the thing is supposed to have already been fixed. Now, on my end, it hasn't been fixed yet. I will be updating on this particular one as we go along. I went and reinstalled everything, and it's still, like, new stuff started appearing or not appearing. So, like, one of the times the main menu appeared, the rest of the times it didn't. Either way, so that is supposedly fixable. Once I have more information on that, I will share it. Anyway, let's get back to the patch itself, the important part, because a lot of things ended up changing this time around. Okay, so let's get started. So 1.05. So first of all, for those that had missed it before, when it came to your answers, they actually had changed a thing a little while ago. Deciding that instead of somewhat random sounding stats for a lot of those answers, essentially you would be given either a strength bias, a speed bias, or a magic bias, depending on which answer you went with. The full list of what gives what is on the patch notes at this point. But anyway, so selecting the middle answer in the starting tarot will now give you +2 to agility and avoidance instead of +1, but some of the cards you draw will add 1 point less, so just a slight increase to your agility and avoidance at the very start. I will say I'm particularly happy about this because I went for a speed focus on a recent playthrough and was a little bit surprised at how normal they were, so this is a nice little bump there. Alright, the Black Plume Arcana now drops from Female Liches in the Pirate's Graveyard. The Tirana now drops from the Blackguard in Chapter 3 for Rampa. There's a Spirit Bomb Arcana that drops from a Nightwing in Chapter 4. I'm assuming these just weren't placed in before. Fixed a number of minor bugs and description errors. Now we get to the cool stuff. So damage bonus of melee dex weapons is higher. So specifically, I assume that means all like katanas and bows and all of that kind of thing. Actually, I don't know if the main gouge counts as one, but I believe daggers and such went up. So either way, supposedly all dex weapons got a damage increase, or a max damage increase. Knight Commander weapons have a higher intelligence bonus. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like. Let's see, do we have any of them over here? Does this count as a... No, that doesn't count as a Knight Commander weapon, but the Nefri does. Ooh, that is a lot of intelligence, actually. Which I guess makes sense. They're all hybrid spellcasters, so sure, makes sense. It checks out. Where's the other one here? I may have some items completely out of order here, due to, you know, test saves and things. Is the Glamrock one of them? Apparently it is. Okay, so the Glamrock's going to be one of them. What about the... where is that Fire Spear? The Volkaitos. Yeah, 18. So it seems like 12 to 18 is what was going on there. Actually, interesting. The Zephyros got that too. I must have missed when a lot of these endgame spears got their big intelligence bonuses, but that's awesome for fencers and such. Alright, so daggers have a higher chance to inflict their status, which is... we'll see how this one plays out. Personally, I was kind of liking the warriors being practically the only ones that could make use of that bonus. But either way, side grade daggers don't have the spell strike usable ability. Instead, they have a higher mind bonus instead. Funnily enough, just got into the groove of using one of these spell strike daggers for somebody. So curious to see how that'll play out. Now, this one I love. The thrusting swords are back. So, piercing one-handed swords, the rapier and the fragach, now have 1 extra range, but can only hit the first target in a line, having a slightly lower damage bonus, lose dagger on hit, and +1 over power. So that would be stuff like over here. Let's go get the fragach, or fragach. I don't know what you'd really call this as, but range 1 to 2. It'll block off on hit. Now, I thought that this was supposed to have +1 overpower. I didn't see that on there. I'm not sure if that's... I'm not sure what the deal is on that. Maybe that was a typo. Maybe it was taken out. I don't know. But it's actually interesting because this leads to a fun little progression thing. Where if you wanted to go full thrusting swords all the time, you start off with the rapier, right? And then you go up to your fragach, and then you end up going into the crusaegrim later on. So the crusaegrim is no longer the first, like, 1 to 2 sword. Although, granted, in this case, it's more like a spear in the sword category that double hits, but still. Either way, it's pretty neat, is the thing. But yeah, it's fun to see that this is in here. Okay, we'll see about the overpower thing later, but I didn't see that on there. Or maybe they lose stagger on hit +1 and the overpower. Maybe they specifically lost the overpower. Maybe I'm just reading that wrong. Ambition now has a damage bonus versus humans. Glamrock is now a one-handed axe. There's Shaitan's Belova as a dark element two-handed option. Your Death Knight Divold might be less unhappy with his career choices now, so that would be over here. Yeah, Shaitan's Belova looking way fancier these days. But overpower Artidale, Fear Ward, Drain Power, so that would be great for essentially funding their Terenius moves, actually. That's pretty cool. That's a fun little synergy weapon. Okay. Let's see. All spears are all one-handed spears. Like, we finally got the spear rework. It's here. It's real. The spear rework is real, and it definitely can't hurt you. All one-handed spears are now 1 to 2 range. They're available to most tanks, and those would lose a good chunk of damage by not being able to counter. The main damage variant now has an avoidance bonus, and side grade has the mind bonus. So those would be over here. So we got light spear over here with avoidance. We got big heavy spear over here that is a pike now. The Hosta has bigger avoidance bonus. This has a range bonus. So essentially bigger avoidance bonuses plus parries on your long range spears. No parries, but essentially you know, your usual light spear kind of goodness on your lighter ones here. So here's the new thing, though. So here, let's go ahead and get to that one. So default two-handed spears are now 2 to 3 range, and their side grades are halberds, which have 1 to 2 range, do a larger amount of slashing damage, but have a higher weight and recovery time cost, lose some avoidance bonus, and swap +1 parry for +2 overpower. So we straight up got friggin' Dark Souls halberds, so I'm loving that. In terms of like being just like the thing to completely smash through defense. So yeah. Love that. I have to say, halberds are probably going to be like my new favorite going forward here, but yeah, I love that that's a thing now. So we now have several, what are we up to, like 5 distinct spear categories? Hell yeah! Alright, Ozark Spear is now one-handed. Bentisca and Longinus have swapped places in the table. So Longinus is now a high-level holy spear with 2 uses of aura. So that'd be over here, so it's all given the pew-pews. So now it's a little bit more unique, and you have a reason to use this dorky-looking thing. Anyway, let's see. Side-grade hammers don't have a damage penalty anymore. That would be good. Katvanga now has Soul Harvest to use instead of Mana Charge, so it's the Mind-Stealing Stick. Spellbooks now have a Mind bonus instead of Intelligence, so those are going to be a better debuff kind of item. So actually, Spell Charge Dagger as well as a Book is actually a pretty legit setup now. All right, cool. That's a min-max I like. There's actually a reason to use essentially multi-finisher spellcasters. All right, cool. Okay. Getting some of that Reborn flavor in here. All right, so bows have a slightly higher damage bonus, which is nuts because, man, bows were already kicking ass before. Two-ended bows now have lower weight, but siege bows have a higher recovery time cost. That's interesting. Although, so this is just personal bias. Lately, I've been leaning towards the standard longbows more than siege bows. I'm curious to see what's actually changed on these. I wonder if the siege bows were just really performing better with this better bonus or something. Icarus bow can inflict weaken on hit. There's a reason to use it besides skirmishers. Okay, beautiful. So Icarus bow is basically like the end-all, be-all, ultimate one-handed bow here. Actually, well, more on this in a moment. But yeah, weaken on hit. That's awesome. Actually, that's a cute little nod to the whole Cupid thing. Feeling a little weak in the knees over there. Anyway, let's move on here. Yeah, nobody can fight while horny. Alright, Jiggler's bow is now a one-handed weapon, and it was renamed to Legion Span, and is now part of the Legion set. More on this in a moment. All crossbows are one-handed now, so a little bit of FFT flavor on this. So yeah, all crossbows are one-handed, and as you can see, an old favorite that no one ever freaking used is back. Alright, so default crossbows have lower range than before, then hit harder. So gone is the dream of the sniper crossbow, which honestly probably for the better, because recently for a lot of that recent One Vision kind of like refresher run, sniper crossbows were really overpowered. So yeah, they have lower range but hit harder, so that's probably for the best. Also gives a little bit of unique flavor to the Necromancer's kind of a ghost shot there. Side grades are assassin crossbows with low range and power, but they also have low recovery time cost and can inflict poison on hit, so beautiful. Brand new favorite. I know I'm going to be rocking those a lot. Only some crafted crossbows are still bolt casters, so you won't see enemies using them as much, but they're more powerful. So bolt casters are basically the wall hack crossbows. Which, yeah, those got a little bit silly before, because the way that the game loves to generate things, it loved putting bolt casters on people. All Fusils have a luck bonus now, also they have much higher attack and no damage bonus. Interesting. How much higher are we talking? Oh, that's sizable. Okay, so that's a decent bit extra, and yeah, no damage bonus at all. Interesting. So they're all about that flat damage and crits. Okay, I like that. That's a fun flavor. Okay. Next up, all two-handed Fusils have 12 range and are a little lighter. Thrown weapons have a slightly higher damage bonus. Fantastic, because I was running a guy doing that. Thrown weapon upgrades are available at the same levels as other ranged weapons past 10. Good. Was just about to get there. Jiggler equipment was changed or removed. You now get the bonus by equipping the full Sniper set. Jiggler's Dark Coat was renamed to Sniper Ghillie. It's now lighter and has low stats and Siege as a passive effect. It's still part of the Jiggler set. Raven's Corona no longer has a passive effect. It got Spell Strike as an ability. Sage's Mists are now usable by more casters. Jiggler Bracers have been removed. Snipe Bracers have been renamed to Sniper Gloves, and they're part of the new Sniper set. Some of the higher level boots are stronger. Snipe Gaiters have been replaced with Sniper Mark, a unique accessory from the Sniper set, with a high agility and avoidance penalty. Wait, accessory? Interesting. Okay. Where is this thing? Is it not going to be... Hang on, what? Is it still showing up over here? There's a chance that these old cheats I was using to keep everything unlocked might actually need to be changed, because a lot of stuff has changed its location. So yeah, there's a pretty decent chance that I'm just missing some bits and pieces here. Actually, you know what? Here, let's go ahead and see about loading a way different file, see if this ends up helping out any. Here, let's see. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Yeah, there we go. This might be the one that has all of the... Let's go ahead and see. Okay, there we go. Now we get to see more stuff on there. So where's the sniper medal? Okay, so actually that got changed too. That's a little bit of a typo there. Really high agility, basically no avoidance, makes you immune to sleep. Okay, interesting. So Sniper Set is now, or Jiggler Set is now the Sniper Medal, Sniper Boots, as well as, here, where are they? Where are you, Sniper Boots? I know you're here somewhere. Not Sniper Boots, Sniper Gloves. What am I looking at? So Sniper Gloves, and then the ghillie. So since you need 3 items to unlock, I don't believe the rule has changed. So if you need 3 things to unlock the thing, then hang on. I need somebody that can use this thing. Can you use this? I gotta know, because this actually. Okay, you can equip the ghillie. Can you equip everything else? Because if so, like, Buccaneer just got the glow up with the Century. Sniper Medal. Here, let me make sure. You get, yeah, you do get the full bonus from this. Okay. Dude. Friggin', oh man. Yeah. I know that this one's technically a non-functional weapon. He just gets the Moonlight because it's fitting. Dude. Yeah, the frickin' Buccaneer just got the glow up of the frickin' Century over here. This is amazing. So yeah. you can have Jiggler Set with a hand cannon. That's beautiful, dude. Actually, wait a minute. Let's go ahead and equip this on a poison crossbow. Here, where are you, poison crossbow? Let's see, Shams is gonna be the best one, apparently. There we go. I love it. Alright, beautiful. Let's go ahead and move on here. What are we looking at? Raven's Corona has no passive. Yeah, we already did that. Snipe. Okay. Classes. Wizard got access to Field Alch 1. Spellblade and Valkyrie have more agility and evasion. Awesome. Princess got +1 jump and resonance skills instead of instill skills. Cyclops has more HP. Some of the endgame boss classes were renamed to something else. They were often just their names, like Serene of the class Serene. Fair enough. Okay. Skills. Most transfer skills are now learnable with a delay, usually at the next skill level threshold for the Origin class. Notable exceptions are weapon skills and the entire Lord class, as Alrighty, let's continue on here. So, where were we? Sorry, I got a little bit cut off there, and also went to go do a little bit more fiddling around to see if the HD stuff can get to working, and it's a maybe still. It sounds like at least the PPSSPP folks are aware, and said that they were going to look into it later. So, you know, we'll probably be seeing an answer to this at some point. So, let's go back to where we were. Okay, so, Opportunist skill now grants the use of Flank active ability. It's supposed to be a less restrictive alternative to Siege. Okay, interesting. Arbiter, Grim Dawn, and Galaxy Stop special skills were removed, but not actually. They're actually later on down the list. So let's go ahead and continue on here. So, spells and abilities. Electrify lightning spell will now double the target's TP instead of charging a fixed 50 points. It can now also be used on self. Okay, that should be pretty interesting for maybe some finisher spammer fencers or something. Arbiter, Grim Dawn, and Galaxy Stop are now draconic spells, so I kind of wonder what's going to go with Warren there. Grim Dawn and Galaxy Stop now affect a large area instead of all enemies. Alright, fair enough. Springboard and Teleport Draconics are a bit cheaper to use. I wonder if they actually show up earlier this time, too. A lot of things have changed in the mod, so, you know, still kind of relearning a lot of this stuff. Okay, Secret of Mana and Blaze of Glory dances will now charge less MP and TP. I guess they want to boost up Electrify there. Added Flank, a cheap ability that grants Battering Ram to the user for 1 turn. Okay, cool. That's interesting. So that's what they meant earlier with regards to it being a cheap alternative to Siege. Alright. Meditate now charges 5 plus 15% MP instead of 10 plus 10%, making it more powerful in the late game. Okay, that's pretty good, because it definitely, you spend a hell of a lot of time to go use that. So hopefully we'll see more of that as time goes on. I know personally I mostly only use it on books, and then just like only when somebody's extremely safe, because that thing will just throw you way down the timeline. HP Infusion will now restore... Actually, quick little backup note on that. On Meditate, am I the only one who ever uses Meditate in One Vision and immediately sees that one scene from the Phantom Menace where the guy just decides to sit down and meditate in the middle of a fight while waiting for a door? Anyway, carrying on. HP Infusion will now restore 25% of max HP in addition to TP spent. HP values are higher in the mod, so the ability wasn't as good. True. Last Resort will sacrifice less HP, which it already didn't sacrifice that much, so basically free extra damage. Distill Power and Distill Remedy cost less TP. Awesome, because those were already pretty darn fantastic. Actually, I've been really loving running Denim as Warlock, and then just using the essentially Distill abilities for support, and then basically just doing the whole Trickster thing for his primary actions. See, Recall has 3 range and costs less TP and RT. Iron Maiden will deal a bit more damage. Conviction now does raw damage, which that's a typo. Will Dow deal raw damage? It's supposed to say now. Like grenades, making the damage more consistent, and drain the inflicted amount as MP. Sorry. Stormcall will now cost more TP and affects a large area around the user instead of all enemies, and now inflicts stun instead of false flight. Interesting. Alright, Clear Skies costs more TP and affects a large area around the user instead of all enemies. It will now have separate rolls to inflict Weaken and Breach instead of False Strike. Huh. Wonder why Weaken and Breach? I would have, I don't know what I would have done. Like, when you're thinking the weather getting better, I don't know if I feel particularly weakened and weak to stuff. I just feel like it just feels pretty darn nice outside. Well, anyway, whatever. Originally, it was like the sun was so bright that it made you not see stuff, but apparently it's weakened and breach now. Anyway, Evanescence will now charge less MP. However, it will also restore some HP. Okay. Devour got a significant range boost. Man, that was already pretty good with Pumpkins, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Let's see, Piledriver has 1 extra range. Granite Fist will now hit indirectly, so you can punch through obstacles like Taylash does. Alright, there's a good reason to actually run Granite Fist, finally. Shockwave lost 1 range. An even better reason to use Granite Fist. Lariat costs less TP. Crystal Pumpkin now does more damage to undead, making it easier to finish them off. Selfless Kiss will now heal HP and remove debuffs. The healed amount is higher and the amount the user sacrifices is lower. Lingering Kiss will now accelerate RT and double TP. This way, each of the kisses has a clear purpose. One is for support, the other is for recovery. And just to point this out, by the way, been messing around with this. I don't know when it happened, but you can zombify your fairies. So, you know, that's a thing. Get your Chapter 1 Necromancer. Go get your Living Dead by Chapter 2. Go get yourself a zombie familiar, which... Yeah, they can't use healing magic anymore, but they also have, you know, essentially replenishable zombie HP there, so you do as you do. Anyway, so Vortex Breath and Radiant Gale will now always inflict Silence and Rupture. Stormrider Spear art is now a single target ability that delivers a lightning attack. If that hits, it rolls a projectile spell hit chance to add an additional hit of lightning spell damage, and if that also hits, it rolls status spell hit chance to stun. The system can do that? Pardon me, yeah, I had no idea that that this game could even handle that many checks at one time. Hold on. When they're talking spell art, are they talking like... Are they talking finishers? Is it a finisher? There we go. Okay, so it's properly all on here. There's just a lot of stuff that's new all over the dang place. Honestly, looking over the One Vision resource is going to be pretty massive as far as figuring out where on Earth stuff is. The sheer depth of the amount of stuff that this mod adds is absolutely just prodigious. It's good lord. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here, going through these notes here. Like, man, if I could just get the HD version working on the Steam Deck, finally have that dream of playing the two side by side properly. Anyway, so where were we here? Okay, Stormrider. As Silence is a fairly specialized effect, some of the finishers and abilities that inflict it will also rupture. I wonder if that includes where's the spear finishers at? Not going to be here. Let's go over to... Would that be under skills or... Why would I suddenly go leave the one where it was just at? It clearly would be down here next to the spears. Okay. Go over to the spears. Ruination. Does that rupture now? Is this updated? I actually have no idea. Why am I looking here? Okay, hold on. Ruination is right here. Does it rupture? Yes, it does rupture. Oh, man. Okay, that's actually a huge upgrade for like, Valkyries in general are sitting pretty with this update. Nice. Okay. Where were we? Some of the caster weapon finishers weren't following extra power convention properly, and they have been adjusted accordingly. Or their finishers, so I guess we'll see if those perform a little better. I know I've been forcing myself to use books just kind of for the hell of it, so I wonder if that applies. Ice Prison Axe Finisher also inflicts Stop instead of Bind. Alright, that's pretty useful. Although, interestingly enough, that's basically, I guess Ice Prison became Stasis Blade, even though we have another Stasis Blade? Or did that get changed? Hold on, where's the finishers for swords? Smite, Purgatory... Does this one stop? Frightens, binds? Okay, smite is more of a bind. Okay. Fair enough. Let's go ahead and continue on here. Actually, who's got Atropos at this point? NPC only. Okay. Of course, it's exactly who you think has Atropos. I don't know why I'm just being brain dead today. Too much trying to fiddle around with this HD thing. Alright, Crystallize and the J-Word Cudgel Finishers have 1 extra range. Gate of Truth Cudgel Finisher also inflicts Curse. Annihilate Spellbook Finisher now does 1 hit, drains HP from the amount of damage dealt, and inflicts Weaken. Okay, I like that little switcheroo there. Having a health steal for a finisher is pretty neat. Obliterate Spellbook Finisher now inflicts Petrify, Devastate inflicts Stun. Alright, so Spellbook's also got a bit of a glow up. That's nice. Final Fortissimo, Instrument Finisher, also inflicts Rupture. Fata Morgana, Fusel Finisher, also inflicts Rupture. Buff Consumables are more expensive. Did we get a buff to buffs? Added the Arbiter Arcana. It drops from the Nephilim in Chapter 4 for Rampa, Wonder at the Gods Above. Added the Grim Dawn Arcana. It drops from the Female Lich in Pirate's Graveyard. That one. Added Galaxy Stop, drops from the Dragon Lord in Chapter 4. Thrown Weapons 2 and 1 got merged. I can skip reading through all that because that's exactly what they are. They're all side grades, effectively. So they essentially Thrown Ones became Thrown Weapons 1 and 2. And then lastly, racial templates. The formula used to evenly distribute points to racial defaults has been adjusted somewhat to value agility and avoidance less highly, which resulted in some characters getting a few more points. These values won't update for existing saved games, but the differences are fairly small, so they probably aren't enough to warrant a restart. Heavenly Generals and a few other bosses are more durable. So yeah, in general, this was a massive change to a lot of things, especially anything related to spears and such, as well as crossbows. So I love the crossbow changes because I have to say, for a little bit of a minute, again, the sniper crossbows are really dang dominant. I like to see that Spellbook's got more stuff on there. This change with the Jigla set opens up so many opportunities. Again, this is the kind of stuff that I really liked that they did with Reborn, so I like to see more of that stuff here, where there's just more set access, giving you more options. Again, you know, Poison Crossbow friggin' Jigla set Buccaneer over here, like, that's the kind of goofy bullshit I love to see. So, either way, liking that. And yeah, can't wait to cover this more. Again, going to be starting on a Know Your Unit for all this stuff pretty darn soon. It feels like every time I try to go back into doing more One Vision stuff, there's some kind of weird technical jank in the way. Like recently, I wanted to go and continue on, you know, I usually test these things on the Vita, because currently I have, you know, this whole weird visual situation going on the Steam Deck, which I would prefer to use as the primary device. Then I go over to the Vita, and I can't even transfer the new patch over, because the one cord I had that would, for whatever reason, actually accept transferring files over to the dang thing right now, because for some reason it just refuses to listen to the whole FTP thing. For whatever reason, my wife and I were cleaning out my car earlier, and that cord just kind of went missing. So, yeah, a little bit of a weird one on that. Any darn ways. So, yeah, go ahead and give this a bit of a shot. Again, remember that whole thing that if you're still running the old method of updating the entire ISO file and whatever else, remember, all you got to do at this point is go use UMDGen. Whether, like, if you're on PC, just do it the normal way. If you're on Steam Deck, add it to your Steam library. Again, just for showing this real quick, like over here. You'll get all this stuff moved out of the way. Go over to Steam. All you got to do is add it to your Steam stuff, right? Whenever it decides to pop up, where are you, Steam? There are you, Steam. It's taking a bit of a second for whatever reason. You go to UMDGen. Don't just hit play immediately. Go over to Properties. You go over to Compatibility. Make sure to use Proton, and that'll make it pop up. Otherwise, it just won't really do anything. Just so you know, before you end up crashing it, because I crashed my Steam Deck like 6 times trying to do this, don't try to save as uncompressed like the usual way that you do it. Only use this to extract the thing and just put it in a folder somewhere. It's going to spit out something that's basically just going to say like unnamed or whatever else. Just rename it later. Don't worry about trying to figure out how to rename it within, the whole Proton system thing. Because for those that don't know how this works, basically here, it's kind of a admittedly janky thing. It's like it technically runs so good enough kind of a situation. So you make it run through that. It takes a little bit of a minute to pop up. This is normal. If you are running with a mouse equipped, then you're going to be able to use it normally. Don't hit those buttons over there for save or whatever else. Trying to save while using this will, for whatever reason, just kind of lock up your system. Again, all you want to do is load the thing up. So, like, let's say you take your ROM, you drag it over to this thing. It's like, okay, it's in there. Extract this. Just like take your original ROM, extract it somewhere, and then from there, all you got to do is take your PSP game file that it came with, go over to your main thing, drop it in there. Just copy and paste that sucker in there. You're good to go. That's it. That's all you got to do. You go over here, you drop it in, and then you move here. That's it. And then you're done. And it's so much easier. I wish I would have known about this forever ago. Considering how fervently I cover these things, you'd think I'd know, but never underestimate my ability to be a dumbass. Anyway, so that's about that. So thank y'all for stopping by. Go update to the latest thing. Go enjoy yourself some One Vision. I know this was one hell of a long update thing, but damn. Like, so much good stuff got added, So much good stuff got added. You love to see it. You love to see it. So, anyway, I will see you in the next one then. And yeah, see you then. Take care.